Hello folks, welcome to the most interesting channel you're ever going to find that nobody really cares about except you found this organically and for some reason you're watching this either because you want to or you have to. I got a video uploading right now as I'm making this, and it's going to be called It Can Happen to You. And I got some pretty profound statements of why it can happen to you. And right now you can't see me, but do you really need to see me? You can see me in my other videos, right? Do you really want to look at me? But anyhow, so this video that you're gonna see that says it can happen to you, I might wait till tomorrow to post this one. You might be thinking like, come on Mike, give us some examples. You're going to show us some things and you got off on a tangent. Well, there's questions that you need to be able to ask the manager of the remediation team that you hire. Like, we found this on June 7th, 2025 at 1:26 p.m. This was the official move into our clean house date. One of the questions you need to ask them is, do you clean the kitchen? And if they say yes, you say, well, do you move the refrigerator and clean? Do you clean under the refrigerator? Or is that not part of the $509,000 available in our policy to clean the house? Another question you want to ask them. Do you clean the cabinets in our kitchen where we put our food wraps, our tea towels, pots, pans, eating utensils, whatever? Notice again, we were told that our house is going to be fully clean when we move back in June 11th, 2025. This is 9:37 a.m. I'm keeping them silent because I'm trying to keep this generic to help everybody in the entire country to make sure that this doesn't happen to anybody else. Don't let what we were stupid enough to let happen to us happen to you. Boy, I wish I had a GoPro doing all this. Oh wait, I'm over where we keep our silverware. Watch this. Do you realize we replaced our dishwasher because it stunk really bad from soot and smoke damage? And that dishwasher was only like a few feet to the left of where I'm showing you this. Do you know something? It's starting to smell the same way. This is an interesting subject. These are holes that the previous homeowner cut in the walls for air transfer for whenever he used the wood stove. Now this is how everything's stacked. And underneath all these boxes are filthy runner rugs that took me a couple weeks to get my family, to convince my family we've got to get them all out of the house. But I ended up bagging them all up. But I just want to tell you about this hole. This hole was an interesting subject with the inspectors that were sent to investigate the poor job of this remediation team. And it has a lot to do with what I have on these videos, where I should be more professional showing you these things, but I'm not monetized. How to protect the balloon frame house from demolition dust and balloon frame blues. Okay, secrets of uncovered demolition and dangers of our historic PA home, because the stuff's still coming over here. But nobody cares if it's happening to them. And it's not like their kids are playing soccer, which is why most people coach. So then anyhow, in the ballooning structure, your walls are hollow. I bet you the walls of just about every house, even today, are hollow. But the intersections between the hollow interior walls meet with the outer walls, which are ballooned. And even though there's fiberglass insulation in there, I would submit to you that if I could go back into the 80s and travel in time, like Back to the Future with that, what's that car called? The Nora or something like that, that I could go meet with him and say, hey, use rock wool. Mineral wool dates to the 19th century. Slag wool was first made in Wales 1840. U.S. manufacturing method was patented in 1870, starting in 1871. But according to Brent Hall, insulation really wasn't being used until after World War II. When was insulation first used in homes in the USA? Began appearing in some homes in the late 19th and early 20th centuries using loose fill materials like mineral wool, newspaper, cork, and wood shavings. But it did not become common until the 1930s, 1940s with fiberglass. Wall insulation became widely standardized only after 1965. So Brent Hall warns you need to be careful of what you're using to insulate the walls of your home based on the era of when your home was built. And he's better at explaining that than I am. I will have a channel, a playlist on here, Artisans. I will put a couple videos of his in there. But all you do is go to Brent Hall's YouTube channel. He's not the only person that's knowledgeable about this stuff, but he's the only one that really knows what he's talking about that I can find on YouTube as far as old homes. That's my opinion. So anyhow, back on to like things to watch out for if you file a smoke damage claim, the questions you need to ask the remediation team manager before you even let them start working. I've already covered the kitchen, like do you clean the kitchen cabinets? Do you pull filthy foam insulation that's obviously smoke damaged and stinks out of the interior walls if you can actually see it? Or do you just let it there? Or do you sit there on one of the last days and let the homeowner watch you pull it out, put it back in, pull it out, pull it back in, and he decides he's got to get out of here because you let the whole family in on the wife's side of the family, and if he blows up and causes a scene, it's not going to be good. There's an example of smoke damage, particle board, furniture, should have been expensed. There's an example of what my daughter and I, it was like we were at a fair with a vacuum cleaner trying to catch the stuff that I seen the guy pull out, pulling out, putting back in, pull out, put back in. The same guy who I have video footage of emptying a vacuum canister into a bag standing outside our house, open door, and all the dirt's going back into the house, and he takes the open bag of the vacuum dirt back into the house with him. Oh, it was like going to the fair, pulling all that stuff out of the hole that I seen him playing around in, and his boss did too. And she says, I don't know what we would cover that with. You know why? Because they were dumping the house on us and getting out of there and trying to get my wife to sign off and pay off. What a rocket scientist I am. That's extra drop ceiling that they left behind because our policy actually paid for it. This is the one thing they did that I can actually say they did a beautiful job, but I also know they had somebody come in and totally clean above it and then paint the dry lock above it and everything's clean under this one. Except I think there's some holes where stink could travel because of the design of the house that are going to need to be looked at. And then I question this whole decision of using dry lock. I think there's better answers. But I didn't know then what I do know now, or I'm learning now. I'm not 100% sure on that one, and it's too late. What I'm showing you is things you need to know so you don't wind up in a situation and you get screwed over and it's too late because maybe you signed off. We didn't yet, but I don't know how this is all going to go. Now, I don't know how this one happened, but it was kind of interesting that on June 18th, I decided to lock this door and the lock jammed. And I had to take the whole thing apart. Bummer. This is one item I thought they didn't bring it back because the way they brought everything in the house, it was hidden. Just like the runner rug that was so filthy that all the laundry that was brought back was piled over, that I can't even believe they brought it into the house. I'm not even fully organized yet. I got to change some of these subfolders because I wanted to talk about you need to ask them. You need to ask them before they start working on your house. Do you clean inside your bedroom dressers and drawers and nightstands? Do you bring furniture over and let the homeowner clean off the bird crap? I know the table looks beat. Family of 7, 5 kids, tablecloth. Do you clean inside the chest of drawers where we keep our clothes? That's June 7th, the day we moved in. Finger test. I didn't have any white gloves. If I had white gloves, they were probably stored with my chimney sweep brush. Like my wife's curling irons were stored in a box with the brush attachment for my chimney sweep kit. I can show you that. Well, I started doing white paper towel test. They wrote an estimate for $166,000 to clean the contents. They want the money. I want my insurance company to get a significant refund back to our policy because they didn't clean squat. I mean, I could just go more and more and more and more. But I think you've seen enough of the furniture. The video is going to get too long. Nobody's going to watch it. You should be able to keep your videos shorter than 15 minutes to attract viewer interest. Do you dismantle door frames in bedrooms for no reason whatsoever and set them in the mudroom looking like they're going to be taken hostage? Ask them if they take hostages, because they do. I put it back twice and decided to make a video about it the second time. The first time I found it in the foyer. That time, I think that's the time I found it in the mudroom. Maybe it was different dates. Let's look and see. It was 2 different times I found it. The second time on April 14th when I found it in the foyer instead of in the mudroom. I decided to make a video about it. The second time I took it back upstairs and put it back where it went. So right here, April 11th, I didn't say nothing, put it back. April 14th, I finally spoke up about it when I was looking to see if they removed the insulation. Do you take the filthy insulation that's smoke damaged from the attic and let it sit in the mudroom entrance of the house all day so that when everybody walks in and out, all the fibers blow all through the house that you're supposed to be cleaning? Do you clean clothes closets? Because the house got blasted by Armageddon. They come in and try to say it's construction that caused all that dirt to be there. Sorry about the tone of my voice, but if you've been spending all your summer cleaning up after scam artists, you'd be upset too. So now I'm going to do the white paper towel test of the closet I was showing you. Actually, I'm not, because I already cleaned that closet. They somehow they managed to clean the closet that they couldn't forget existed, because they had to go finally find all the areas that insulation were in. I don't know how many men I have watching this versus how many women watching this, but this is my wife's closet. There's $509,000. It says to me that shouldn't happen. There's $509,000 in our policy that says to me that shouldn't happen. So, official move back into the house date was June 7th. This video was recorded on June 8th. They sealed off the second floor and the attic floor, saying that they cleaned them and the only smells in the house are just old house smells. This video is 16 minutes, going on 17 minutes long. I'm going to end it here and title this something like 3 questions you should ask a restoration company before you let them clean your house. Do you clean the kitchen? Do you clean the kitchen cabinets? Do you clean your clothing, your furniture, your storage, and your closets? That's 4 questions.